Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3, where we are currently searching for a dragon. And apparently in order to find this dragon we have to pass a few trials. We have already finished the trial of justice, I suppose. But we have two more doors here, so probably two more trials. These statues apparently do not talk. So yeah, let's just continue and let's see what's behind the next door. Ooh. Is that a chessboard?
How much farther can I go?
Well, that's interesting.
Lanceboard.
Oh,
Why, this
Lanceboard.
might just be the highlight of our misadventures to date.
It actually might be. Interesting. I mean, we have seen Lanceboard before, but it did look different the last time. You know, the board had different levels and elevations. This seems to be a pretty standard, ordinary chessboard. And black is not in a good position at all. This is like almost imminent checkmate. Maybe not like imminent, maybe checkmate in 2 or something. But not a good position for the black player. But okay, let's investigate this. I may have to destroy these crystals first. Well, not like that. And not like that. I'm guessing some force damage might take care of them, though. Okay, is this enough to...
Is that blood?
Get through here?
Never mind.
Apparently not.
Sharp as ever.
We may have to destroy more than one.
Let's get going.
Is this enough?
Should mind my step.
Okay, and now we can move on. The Chamber of Strategy. Huh. So do we have to play some chess here? I mean, possibly. What is that doing? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be interactable. Okay, I guess we have to ask the statue, and the statue will tell us what to do.
Prove your strategic wits.
All right.
There is but one rule. The Dark King must fall in 2 moves.
Okay, so it is checkmate
Are you
in
a
2.
commander of armies, or a shivering pawn, fodder for cleverer minds?
I'm afraid I have little experience with Lanceboard, let alone the command of soldiers.
It's okay, I got
I've been
this.
known to shuffle a few knights around in my day. Might I offer a suggestion?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. Go ahead, Gale, I'm listening. Sorry, but I'd rather think this one through on my own. Keep your advice to yourself while we're down here, alright? I guess it would make sense for Artemis to ask for advice, because I don't think she has done a lot of Lanceboard. However, I think in this case I will take charge here, and I will make an exception, because first of all, it would be a little bit too easy to have your companion solve this, right? And I feel kind of honor-bound to do this on my own. After all, I have been playing chess since I was a little kid. I was even in a chess club for a while, and I was pretty decent for my age group, I would say. Even won a couple of trophies. And then when I was like 20, I moved away to go to university, and since then I haven't really been playing all that often anymore. And to be fair, I probably would have hit a ceiling at some point, because I didn't really practice. So I was just playing like the same 2 openings all the time. And I didn't like memorize different openings and their variations and so on. But at that level, you can get away with that, because your opponents probably will also play the same 2 standard openings all the time. And, you know, once you muddle your way through the opening and get to the middle game, I mean, you can't really learn that part of the game anyway. At least not and memorize it, because it's different every time. Sure, you can like train your perception to spot certain patterns and strategies maybe. But in the end, it's just all about how many moves and counter moves and variations thereof can you calculate in your head in advance. And if you can calculate like 3 moves in advance and all the different options and variations, you're pretty good. But you're still far, far away from like a grandmaster of chess. And that's why at some point you probably want to memorize the openings and what different options you have with each opening, because you don't want to spend time on that. You know, competitive chess games are timed, so don't waste time on the opening, just memorize them. But I didn't really want to do that. I just wanted to play and have fun, so at some point I probably would not have progressed any further, because I wasn't really that interested in putting like that much work into it, to be honest. But I'm guessing if this is a checkmate in 2 situation, I can deal with that. So yeah, I will try this on my own.
No apology required. Take all the time you need.
That did sound slightly patronizing, Gale, but whatever. Okay, let's have a look at that. I'm guessing that we will be playing as white after all. We're supposed to checkmate the poor black king here. And I mean, these, checkmate in 2 puzzles are very common, like chess puzzles, or checkmate in 3 maybe. And they usually all work with the same strategy. You kind of have to make a move that gives your opponent the smallest number of options, preferably only 1 or 2 moves, and then in the next move you can checkmate them. So usually your move should put a check on the opponent. So for example, the black king already has very limited options here. There's basically only this square over here, which is h7, I guess. And everything else is already blocked by the white knight here, which is blocking the 2 squares here. So we have to move the black king to, h7 over here. And we could move the white knight to this square. This would be a check. But it wouldn't be a checkmate into... It would be like a nice knight fork, because, it would guarantee you the capture of the black queen. But why would we want to capture the black queen if we can already checkmate the king? So we're not going to do that. I think the knight has to stay here because the knight is blocking these 2 squares here. We can use the queen to put the king into check, but I can't really put the queen anywhere here, because any of these pieces could capture her, and we only want that if we get something good out of it, like a checkmate. So I'm guessing it's going to be the rook that we have to move. Yeah, I think that should work. So if we move the rook to g8, then black has actually 2 options. They can either take the rook with their bishop, and then the queen can move in to g7 and checkmate, or they can move the black king out of check to h7, and then it's going to be the rook that can checkmate the king on g7. So, how am I supposed to do this?
I'll give it a shot.
We need to move the rook. And we're going to move it here. Okay, this is apparently how it works. And apparently black is going for the bishop captures the rook option. So we will move in the queen to this place. It's protected by the knight, so it can't be captured here. And it's going to be a checkmate because the king can't go anywhere else. So let's do it. And there we go. Okay, that was easy enough. Okay, proceed. Proceed, it says. Oh, we have another journal here. I'll take a look at that in a second.
Might be useful.
Journal of Past Adventures number 3. Vedor and Unglir are gone. Our hubris is evident. Elementals took us by surprise. There are still 3 of us, for now. Okay. Where did these elementals attack you? Maybe they attack you if you don't figure out this chess puzzle? Because I'm not seeing any elementals here. But either way, I guess we're done here. Let's move on to the next trial. Which would be this door, I guess. Okay, we got another statue of Baldur in here. And this is the Chamber of Courage. Cemetery blue torch. That's interesting. Do we also have like a journal here that we can read? Not as far as I can tell. Okay, let's go and talk to the statue.
A champion burns bright, even when rushing waters and moaning winds threaten to extinguish the flames. Take the torch, withstand the elements, prove your courage.
Okay, what does that mean? Well, I guess I'll find out. Let's take the torch. Oh, okay, it's just a bunch of enemies. Oh, maybe these were the elementals they were talking about. So I guess the other adventurers went into this chamber first. Survive the trial. 4 turns remaining.
Blood comes easy these days.
And I need to carry the torch. Can I, like, switch to my bow, though? Well, apparently I can. But I guess I can't use my sword, because I still have to equip the torch internally, so to speak. Okay, but I mean, I prefer to use my bow anyway, so we're good. Yeah, I can't attack with my sword at the moment. Let's go for the air elemental, maybe. Or maybe...
Forever dauntless.
Maybe we can just push them over the ledge here. Maybe even both of them. Yep. Okay. That's 2 of them gone. Perfect.
Still breathing, despite everything.
So instead we will go for this air elemental. I probably should have just, you know, given each of these elementals a blast, because I might be able to push them over the ledge as well. But for now, we will do this with our normal weapons. Okay. You know, considering that they're made out of air, you can still hurt them physically well enough.
I am fury. I am death.
Okay. I want you to get closer to these elementals. So maybe giving you the jump option here might not be a bad idea. There we go. And sure, let's use an action search. Which means now you can actually attack the first one. Again, surprisingly much damage for a creature made out of air. There we go.
Battle favors the fearless.
And, I mean, you're basically done, but I might be able to get you into a good position for the next attack. Okay.
Nothing important is ever easy.
And you can stay where you are as well. Okay, well, that wasn't too terrible. And you can just fly in this general direction. Okay. And again, you can just go over here and be a decoy, I guess. Can't really reach any of these.
May the dice roll in my favor.
Oh! He fell on the ice. I didn't realize that this was ice, so I should have paid better attention. Okay, but again, you might be able to just push over some of these guys. Apparently we have some that spawned over here. Okay, I mean, there was no ledge to push over this one, but still. The other one is gone, apparently. Okay.
I won't give in.
And turn. And, yeah, this guy might be a little bit too close. Instead, I'll go after this one. This probably isn't really so much about defeating all of these elementals, because I still have to survive for 3 more turns. So I guess until then they will just keep respawning, huh?
Victory awaits.
But, I mean, killing them probably is still a good idea, because then they can't attack us. Alright. And you can take this one as well. Blinded. I'm not sure if there's any point in trying to attack these glowing thingies. It's kind of interesting that this one is gone. So maybe if I destroy these orbs, they can't respawn? Guess I can give that a try. So let's use that. And you might be able to attack this one over here. Yep.
Death is but a word away.
Okay, maybe you just shouldn't move. You can just attack from where you are currently at. First of all, let's try to get rid of this water elemental. I think 3 should be enough, hopefully, and you can throw the rest on this one. Apparently 3 was not enough. 5. 5 are left. Okay. Raging vortex. Oh dear. Silence. That's not good. But apparently it's just because we're inside the vortex and we probably can just leave. There Let's try that. Yep, we can just leave. Yeah, I can't push these guys over the ledge. That's a pity. And I can't seem to attack the orb, at least not from where Will is currently at. Let's maybe make sure that the water elemental here is actually destroyed. One hit is probably enough. And the rest can go in this direction. Okay, 2 more turns. I think this shouldn't be too difficult. I am kind of curious though what happens if I try to destroy one of these orbs. I mean, this orb apparently has returned, so there might be some sort of meaning behind this. Okay, at the moment I can't target any of them without provoking an attack of opportunity though, so maybe I shouldn't bother. Let's see, we have one over here. We should probably continue with that one. Let's do it. And that was a miss. Okay, and you should try to deal with... Oh no! I hate that. At least my ravens can't fall down on the ice. A critical hit, and it's still just 1.
Let me recite their demise.
Okay, I need you to move out of that vortex so you can actually cast spells again. I'm just going to throw them all at this one. 7! So close! And another raging vortex. Sure, let's use a rebuke. Ooh, that was nice. And now it's still the elemental's turn. Okay, but now it's our turn again. There's too many of these vortexes. Okay, I need to move somewhere where I can actually cast a spell. Okay. This will work. Okay, let's see if we can finish off that one. Okay. Perfect.
Where do I go from here?
And you can probably just continue with this one over here. 1 and 2.
I am fury. I am death.
Okay, you can attack the water myrmidon over here, I suppose. It's just one more turn, or probably just the end of this turn, and we should be fine. There we go.
Lance board is set.
And you might be able to finish off this one. And there we go. So it's 2 elementals left. I'm not sure if they will just vanish once the trial is over, or if we still have to defeat them. No, apparently they just vanish. Alright, proceed, he says. Although I don't actually hear the voice, but apparently we did it. Okay, let's maybe take a short rest here. And we have another journal after all. Okay,
More for me.
let's take a look at that. A Lansport trial, a bloody Lansport trial, and the grounds shake, crystals fall, and I can hear the rustling of metal against rust. If this is the end, let this be my record, then we must run. Apparently these two journals have been mixed up, because this should have been in the other trial room. I guess. But okay, the previous adventurers were not impressed with the trials here. And apparently they fared much worse than we did. Okay, I guess there isn't really any value of loot here. Let's make sure that I'm equipped with the proper weapon here. Okay. Also, I guess I don't really need the headband of intellect at the moment. Which means I should put on my shooter headband again. Where is it? I should maybe sort this by type. Okay. Here we go. What is this called? Circuit of Hunting. Okay. So, is that
Need to find a way
all the
forward.
trials we need to pass? Let's return to the main room.
Here goes nothing.
Can we open the doors now? Apparently not. Lockpicking impossible. So... I mean, there's still a statue that is not glowing. Which means there must be another trial. Oh, okay, I can see another passage here. Didn't see that at all. Where is it? Over here? Over the sneaky, almost invisible bridge? Okay. I guess that's where we need to go. Yep, there's another door. Chamber of Insight. Oh. Suelto Amaps Stead. Level 1. 1 HP. What is going on here? I don't know. Maybe the statue can tell us.
A good leader has the insight to find good counsel. As a war reaches its end, there is one who doesn't advise for the city's prosperity. Find him and strike him down.
Okay. So we're looking for someone who gives bad advice. That is extremely vague, but sure, let's see what we're dealing with here. Oh, what is that? A flying book. What does it say? That's Virtues of Unions.
Very well.
Can I read it? Well, I can apparently. Item received. Stats Virtues of Unions. Okay. Let's take a look at it. The Virtues of Unions by Alvin Stead. I mean, Stead is one of these ghostly figures we just saw. It is quite obvious that larger kingdoms offer benefits to all peoples within. As a kingdom grows, so does its fields, its populace, and its economy. A few charred corpses is a worthy sacrifice, if a dragon offers to share its hoard after all. So too should you seek union, however imperfect, should a powerful kingdom march its army on your borders. Some friction is inevitable. Of course, citizens' rights might erode, for instance, but such lesser issues will be sanded down by the march of time. Such is the price of peace. I'm not sure if I'm entirely in agreement with that, but I guess it's also not completely unreasonable. It's very pragmatic, I suppose. Okay, so that's Stats' opinion apparently. What do we got here? Suelto's Ethics of War. Okay.
Oh, hold still, will you? Oh, hold still, will you?
Well,
Oh, hold still, will you?
this one doesn't want to be caught.
Oh, hold still, will you?
Maybe one of my companions has better luck. Oh, he
Damn
failed.
thing, just slow down a moment.
He failed a skill check. Okay, let's try it with all of my companions at least once.
Almost, but not quite.
Okay, apparently we got it. Well, one of my companions got it. Okay, apparently Lizelle was able to catch it. The Ethics of War by Christina Suelto. My colleague Amaps proposes fair rules of engagement in times of war and forgiveness upon victory. Are we to spare our enemies, then, once they have fallen to our might? Are we to put all hatred behind us when surrender is offered? Indeed not. For what shall we do once our opponent gathers new armies and masses them once again along our borders? We shall wage another war and count the lives snuffed out by our magnanimity. Once an enemy kingdom is conquered, it must be razed to the ground. Only then can we be free of its spectre. Okay, my current favorite for the choice of bad advice is, what was their name? Suelto. Because that's just unhinged.
Alright, what now?
So I guess we still need to find out what Amap's opinion is. I mean, we can kind of see a little bit of it at the beginning of this book. My colleague Amaps proposes fair rules of engagement in times of war. That seems reasonable.
No one back home will
But
ever
still,
believe
let's
this.
see if we can find anything else here. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've seen that one before. Corsairs of Luskan, again, that seems very familiar. What abides below? I'm not sure about this one. Plamondon tells us that Grey Harbor was a small coastal village before Baldurin returned with his sea treasure and founded a great city here. But the vast subterranean ruins hidden beneath our modern city sewer system tell a very different story. Yes, indeed, there's quite a few of these. I'm actually surprised that when, like, the Sharon worshippers built their underground hideout, they didn't stumble into, like, the large vampire hideout or the dragon hideout we're currently at. There's so many different underground spheres and structures that it's a surprise that they don't run into each other. There was a city on the bight of the lower Shiontha ages before Baldurin built his sea tower, a metropolis of grand boulevards and granite towers open to the sky before the unknown cataclysm that split them to their foundations and then swallowed them into the bedrock. Who were these forgotten people who lived in the age before Baldurin? Perhaps more importantly, who or what still lives in the ruins of that tumble-down port down below? What things, creatures or creations lurk beneath our streets, and do they have designs on what we like to think of as our world on the surface above? I mean, there's still like the underground city where the Baal temple is, so there's even more weird structures beneath Baldur's Gate. The Folly and the Fall. Though clearly old, this handbill has managed to maintain its bold print over time. For one season only, see the play that sent Elturel's Everlight Theatre into chaos. The sharp-tongued traveling troupe presents The Folly and the Fall, a tragedy in 4 parts. Part 1 of Lost Netheril, that great wizarding empire in humanity's Age of Wonder. Part 2 of the great mage Cassus, his brief and terrible godhood, and the ruin he wrought. Part 3 of Netheril's Fall, 1,000 years of shade and Shah's subversion. Part 4 of Netheril's return and its shadow falling upon the land. Penned by the great bard Bregan Feck, The Folly and the Fall tells the true story of the flying Netherese city Sultanlar and its dramatic return after 1,000 years in exile on Shah's Plane of Shadow. See the climactic battle above Myth Dranor, rendered in stunning details thanks to the finest thaumaturgs on the coast. Direct on your village screen as the sharp-tongued traveling troupe makes its transit to Baldur's Gate. See it now or face 1,000 years of sorrow. I may have seen this before, now that I read it. At least parts of it were familiar. I have definitely seen this one before. But none of this tells me anything about Amaps. The 5-year war, a diplomat's
Better not be
record.
cursed.
The 5-year war by Torwin Bass. The war was, in truth, nothing short of a tragedy. It began as a mild altercation between the sanguine sons of the Aelio and Vida families regarding, if you can believe it, the proper ownership of a sheep farm. Over the course of 3 seasons, full-blown conflict had erupted between Baldur's Gate and Victon, a pointless war leaving both cities with nothing but 1,000 youthful corpses to show for it. Okay, interesting, but currently not helpful. Oral histories of Faerun, the spell plague, yes, we have seen that one already.
Something good here, I hope.
The Dukes of Baldur's Gate. Not sure about this one. Wealth speaks with a loud voice in a city founded and made prosperous by trade. Baldur's Gate has always been governed by its parliament of peers, consisting of the heads of the richest patriarch families, with executive rulership by a council of 4, the 4 most powerful dukes, one of whom is designated Grand Duke. That tradition has held for many centuries, with the occasional interruption in times of crisis. And a crisis is where we find ourselves again, which accounts for the recent change in the city's administration. Last year the Council of 4 was Duke Balin Stalmain, Duke Dillard Portier, and Duke Salamra Vanthampur, chaired by Grand Duke Ulda Ravengard. After the death of Duke Vanthampur and the worrying disappearance of Grand Duke Ravengard during the fall of Elturel, the question of who would make up the Council of 4 going forward was postponed pending the return or confirmed loss of Ravengard. Into this power vacuum rose a brash new contender, Lord Enver Gortish, who promised that his leadership would see the city through its series of crises. When Ravengard finally returned and actually endorsed Gortish for that leadership role, Baldur's Gate gratefully turned to its new Archduke to bring its citizens back to safe harbor. This is pretty recent. Who wrote this? Who left this book here? Someone must have been here not that long ago. And I thought we've been the first to enter this place in a long time. Yeah, weird placement for this book, to be honest. The Wonders of Phandalin. In this year 950 DR, there can hardly be a more prosperous and fortunate town than Phandalin. Phandalvar's Pact has brought prosperity to this land, splitting the wonders of Wave Echo Cave between gnomes and dwarves. The town now boasts thriving communities of both peoples, living and working together in harmony. We have also tempted human spellweavers from all across the north to our town, who are happy to work side by side with the allies of Phandalvar's Pact. Mayor Alderleaf invites you to come and witness this miracle yourself. See the powers being uncovered in the forge of spells and the prosperity this power brings. I dare say Neverwinter will soon have a new rival for the title Jewel of the North. I may have read this one before, but it's been a long time ago. Okay, again, I don't think any of this is
Let's
actually
go my
helpful.
way.
Oh, there's another one of these flying books. What is this one about? Amap's memoirs, okay.
Hold still, will you?
And again, I
Hold still, will
can't seem to be able to grab it.
Up for debate?
Damn thinker, just slow down a moment.
I mean, Lizelle was able to grab the last one. Maybe
Am I needed?
Will can help us with this one.
Sure, why not?
Slippery little blighter.
Nope, he failed.
Action, not reaction.
That skill check.
Almost, but not quite.
And apparently everyone only gets one skill check,
Quickly then.
even if it's a different book. What if I just go to turn-based mode? This could be much easier.
Almost, but not quite.
Okay, but apparently
Damn thinker,
it's
just slow down a moment.
it's still too fast.
Hold still, will you?
Apparently the book counts as a monster. That's interesting. I have a slow spell and I have a hold spell. But if I can just put it on hold... Okay, maybe
Shouldn't have wished. to
maybe
live
that
in more
actually
interesting
worked.
times.
Let's exit. Turn-based mode.
As you
Okay,
wish.
there we go. My life has been a long succession of pleasures. To see my town take to my ideas and seize legal discrimination of local orcs. To see my fights against horrid living conditions in city factories take off. To have the chance to see a better generation take to these ideas of a better, kinder, fairer, intelligent world and run with it to new reaches of the continent. It was not a life without struggle, however, and I sure regret its failures. My old friend Suelto comes to mind, who adopted such cruel ideologies later in life. I will forever console myself in the idea that such a brilliant mind would only conceive such theories under the strain of exile and the promise of reinstatement, as she ultimately was. Okay, I'm guessing Suelto must be like the bad apple. I mean, her writings were pretty unhinged, and this guy is very
The solution's
skeptical as
plain
well.
as the high moors in midsummer. Let's chat.
No one stopped me yet.
You want to give me your opinion, Will? I think I figured this one out already, but sure, let's talk.
This place is astonishing. A bard's legend made real.
Will, you had an idea about the Inside trial, yes? Sure. Give me your opinion.
Yes, Suelto's ethic of war would lead to endless conflict. No city could survive it. Suelto is the one you should strike.
Okay, again, this was fairly obvious. But I may actually want to talk to everyone and see what they have to say about this place.
Whatever ancient purpose is imbued in these halls, it may not welcome our presence here. We should be wary of whatever lurks beneath the dust.
Alright. Lizelle?
Such an elaborate trial. The sort Vlaakith subjects Tunarath's elders to, should they grow too decadent.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. And yeah, we have already heard Will's opinion. Balduran founds a city. This text roots its subject on Balduran, a sailor of exquisite renown who founded the city of Baldur's Gate many years ago. The prose is colorful, but a little too self-satisfied around the edges, and the novel would be unremarkable but for one small entry about halfway through. Balduran claimed a guardian and friend, Ansur, Bright were Ansur's scales, and brighter still his breath. Yet after a betrayal too piercing to recount here in worthy detail, Ansur fled beneath a stone, thereby changing the name of the region he now slumbers under to match his draconic lineage. A betrayal? Huh. I'm not sure if we heard about that before. We have seen that book already. Harvest of Memory. Brought to the Shadowfell, which is a reflection of the world you're in, and a dark reflection too, rife with wickedness and twisted echoes and despair. By their raven queen, the Shadakai are elves. Not elves as you might find along the Sword Coast, but elves that reflect their home with their physiology and attitude. On the whole, they are cruel, nasty-minded people who are nonetheless singularly devoted to their queen and her domain of power. That domain is life and death, and in their unwavering fealty to their mistress, the Shadakai perform the thankless duty of ferrying the memories of the dead for her to admire in a kind of memory-based menagerie. Fascinating. I don't think we've heard about that so far. Also, I may want to pick this up because this seems interesting. Anyway, I guess we have all the information we need.
These boots have seen everything.
So, how does this work? I'm just going to kill the bad apple, the bad advisor, which I guess would be Swelto. Armaps is apparently a tiefling. Anyway, they only have 1 HP, so this should be quick. Alright, an insightful decision. Proceed. So, do we have all the trials now? Yes, I think we have. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let's see if the door is open now.
What's in here?
There's another pile of books. But it's empty, okay. Yep, the door is unlocked.
Let's see what this does.
Okay, there we go, an entrance. However, before we go through this entrance, I guess I'm going to make a cut, and I actually may want to go to camp and take a long rest. Who knows what's going to happen once we go through here. Maybe the dragon things, you know, the final trial is that we have to defeat it. I mean, there must be a reason for the dragons laying arrows, right? So I think there might be a battle ahead. So let's call it a day here. And as always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.